I will call the meeting to order for April 1st, 2019, Lincoln County Board of County Commissioners. And if you'll join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Sit here today. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I will start off with correspondence. We are asked to pay the power washing company for the kitchen exhaust hood cleaning. I recommend that we scrutinize that one. Here's a purchase from Phoenix Supply for another toilet. This isn't a duplicate, right, Dawn? Because I signed those last ones. Another.
I don't think so, unless the last one was a packing slip and I didn't realize it.
Okay. And then they bought the wax ring from Street to go with that. To the Lincoln County Commission from Shelley Shores Miller from the Division of Environment, KDHE. Dear Commissioners, enclosed is the public notice regarding a proposed Kansas water pollution control permit for the reference facility in your county. In accordance with KAR 281661, this notice provides interested parties an opportunity to comment on or object to the issuance of the permit as being public noticed. Specific information concerning comments and objections is found at the end of the public notice. So this would be for Jack Eklund Feedlot in Goodland, Kansas.
Is there more?
They all together. Okay, I was going to say that's not ours. Okay. Are these by location? Lenora, Byrne, Brewster, Play Center, Brewster. They're not in any given order. Clifton, Larned, Play Center, Delphus, Lucas. No, that's not us. Kenton, I missed it. Do you see a location that's in our county?
Of what?
It would be, it looks like they're for feedlots.
You're looking for Lincoln County?
Yeah. Most of those are out of our county.
Maybe they just noticed everybody. You might notice.
I could have skipped one though. I mean, there are quite a few in there, but
It may be a no.
hello, good morning.
Excuse me.
Yes. Oh, did I?
The door's open and your purse is in there.
Oh. Will you go out and shut the door? Oh, thank you. Yes, just.
Do you have the keys to get in?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks.
Leave your card on it.
Huh?
Leave your door open.
I did, or we did.
I've done that before. Walk away.
Yeah.
I don't see Lincoln County here either.
Okay, well.
So maybe this is just a general,
Okay.
give every county a notice, huh?
I guess
Something.
so.
I don't know if we have a feedlot. Do we? Aljo and Lincoln, that one. Oh, Meyer Land and Cattle.
Goods have one.
Yeah. And goods, yeah.
This is addressed to the chairperson for March 27th, but we received it April 1st. Historic Preservation Fund 2019 grant application for Lincoln County Courthouse Preservation Research and Assessment was received on March 27th. The Historic Preservation Fund Grant Review Committee of the Kansas Historic Sites Board of Review will conduct a public hearing concerning this year's round of competitive grants at 9 a.m. on Friday, May 3rd, 2019 in the museum classrooms, Kansas Historical Society in Topeka. Your attendance at the hearing is not required for your application. However, you may come to address the committee on the merits of your proposal. Applicants are requested to keep comments to a maximum of 3 to 5 minutes, as the committee's time is limited. The committee will take comments from the public before adjourning to prepare for a final report. The Kansas Historic Sites Board of Review will consider the committee's report at their quarterly meeting at 9 a.m. on Saturday, March 4th, 2019. Following the May 4th meeting, all grant applicants will be notified in writing as to whether they will receive an award in the 2019 round of grants, pending availability of funds. Thank you for your interest, and it's signed by Katrina Ringler, who is the grants manager. So I think we should make sure at least someone's going to be there on our behalf, since that's going to be the first round of the stages we need to complete the fixing of the masonry and such on this building.
Yeah, all right.
What did it say, May 3rd?
That's your business KCCA.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I believe.
Would this be the, I can't think of, Regional Planning Commission, and Kelly
I guess,
doing
except
this?
for the travel. I mean, I don't know. I guess we could,
Or Doug,
yes. He may be going on behalf of someone else too, I'm not sure, but, and this is from Planning and Development from Riley County in Manhattan. The Kansas Association of County Planning and Zoning Officials. There's a lot of information in here, so I will just say that they are having a spring 2019 conference at the Fossil Creek Hotel and Suites in Russell, Kansas, and that is April 24th and 25th. And I know that we don't have any zoning, so I'm not sure that we need to be involved with that, but if anyone is interested in knowing what they're doing with zoning, I suppose that would be a good resource.
there may come a point in time where we may have to think about it. Maybe.
That's kind of a...
Or maybe, well, maybe not, we're still too small county population-wise.
Well, I think you can do your own internal guidelines for it, but you really, it's kind of opening a can of worms when you start. So, I would
Yeah, I agree.
like
But-
to address the bills. I'm going to move. Dawn, I move to approve the bills for Lincoln Park Manor, except cleaning the kitchen hood.
Who would pay for that, then? Is that what you recommend? Well, what's the policy if we don't approve that? We send it back to them and just make them pay it?
Mhm.
Then they probably wouldn't get paid because it'd be an accounts payable issue.
Well, I think it's about time, well, emotion dies for lack of second. I think that it's about time that someone somewhere starts getting up in arms about bills not being paid. I mean, technically, we as the county should be taking them to court for not paying our bills that they owe us. I don't see why we should continue to pay their bills regardless of what's going to happen. I mean, we have no obligation to pay bills for someone else at this point. But, I mean, I'm not opposing the new toilet and the parts that go with it, which total...
And the power wash thing could be kind of one of those middle-of-the-road issues between us and, because it is, he's cleaning right the exhaust hood.
Have you read the lease?
No.
You need to read the lease, because it does not say that we're obligated for any of their overhead costs or business
Or
expenses.
cleaning, or...
Right, I mean, it's specifically...
We're responsible for the hardware of the facility, right?
Exactly.
And anything like cleaning or, which this is, and,
But products and labor associated with cleaning don't come with us and the responsibility of the structure of the building. I mean, I would even question, we spent $205.46 on the toilet, and then they bought a wax ring for $4 and spent $195 on the labor to put the toilet in.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
3 hours from street plumbing, 3 hours at $65 an hour to put a toilet in. I mean, I've put in a toilet myself in this.
I think they had to clean out a line or something here, though, it said, I was reading this. Sewer line was plugged, so they had to ran a bunch of water, but checked the sewer line, it wasn't plugged, okay, checked all lines. So, yeah, I know what you're saying, but it is new hardware, yeah, I know.
No, I'm not opposing the toilet
Yeah.
purchase, but.
No, I understand, I understand.
I was kind of under the assumption that they had a full-time maintenance man, and a maintenance man could remove and replace a toilet, but
Yeah.
that's my
Well,
understanding of maintenance.
Depends on how severe it gets, that's always the question, you know, of maintenance.
I know, but this is just a toilet
Well, this hood
replacement.
cleaning, yeah, it's our, you could say it's our hardware, but,
But we're not the ones using it, making the grates.
yeah, I know, you got a good point too. I don't know what to do about that. What do you, Aljo, you got any input?
Well, I guess probably my input would be that we ought to pay it. I don't like paying them all, but we are in a rather dire situation up there, and we need to keep that home open. And I guess that is not a breaker for me, that if we have to pay that one. But they do owe us money, and we have not figured out what we're going to do there yet. So I don't, to me, it's a toss-up, I guess. I think the bills need to be paid, but is it our responsibility? I guess I'm not sure.
Well, we
But
need,
I'm not sure I'm going to want to fight that one, I guess, is I'm not sure that is a battle that I want to take on.
well, I don't think it's a battle, it's just a refusal of using our money to do something
I mean,
for another business.
you can do that, you can refuse it, and if it comes back in, we'll have to, you know, I guess I don't like bills not being paid, I guess.
Well, the thing is, if we don't pay it, it goes back to them and their accounts payable, which they aren't paying. And we need services up there by these vendors, and then they'll say, we're refusing to come work for you now.
Well, let's
because
not
you-"
forget that the more financial trouble this person gets the nursing home in, the more likely we are to see the state step in, which could do nothing but behoove us, because if that particular company is found to be financially insolvent, is the key word. I mean, how many bills do you have to rack up for your debt to show that your debt to income ratio is insolvent? I mean, we're not helping ourselves by paying his bills, keeping him afloat, when he needs to come to the table and claim financial insolvency for the state to be able to step in on our behalf. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I know, you got a point.
We do also need some clarification on the responsibilities of the maintenance man. It might be nice to see
I wish
that.
that we had a cleaner,
Lease.
description of what we have to pay and what they have to pay. It seems like every week we have an issue like
Better
this.
working relationship with
Yeah.
But we have a lease, and the lease does not say that we're obligated for any of that. It says that we are obligated to maintain the structure of the facility, which the roofing is an issue that we need to
And a
get on top
toilet,
of.
and a toilet.
The toilet, I have no discrepancy.
But I know what you're saying. But now, like, and roofing, we would be, and all that stuff. I know what you're saying, yeah. I don't know. Why don't you want to remake your motion to pay those first two?
Yes.
And I'll second that, and if you don't want to pay the third one,
Sure.
I want to pay these first two, though.
That's fine.
We don't need to hold them up.
I move to pay the bills for Lincoln Park Manor for the purchase and installation of new toilet.
I second.
If there's no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed? I will sign these and delete that one. Okay, and I'll forward you that lease.
Yeah, what'd you
I
think?
need to,
Yeah, I'd like to
and
read it.
you need to look through it to see
I
what we're
suppose
dealing
we
with.
have a copy here, probably on file.
We do, but I have it
I should,
electronically,
yeah,
so.
I should do that.
Okay, on the
City of
agenda,
Beverly is applying for a renewal of their permit for their wastewater is what this is.
oh, you found it, thank you. Okay, I will put that back in this envelope then. Thank you. Do we need to contact anyone in Beverly then, or do you think that they're basically saying it's a public notice of the permit?
What's in
It's
there?
just a renewal of the permit that they've had in the past.
Do we-
And we just post it so that if any public wants to.
Okay,
No, there it is, Beverly, yeah. Can't read it. Yeah.
okay.
Do we need to make a motion to do anything on that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Just that we received the public notice, and it'll go into the minutes.
Okay.
On the agenda today, we have, we need to get to the minutes too from last week, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Did anyone have anything that they noticed in the minutes?
No, I see in the back there on the agenda, we had those times and stuff, but we've since edited those, right?
Mm-hmm,
So, but those were the minutes at the time, yeah,
mm-hmm.
okay. I make a motion to approve the minutes from April 1st, 2019.
I'll second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Okay. So to the agenda for today, we have to review highway department evaluations and complete those, and that's starting now. And then we will have Michael O'Hara. Would you like to just do our open session now before we go into executive session for the evaluation?
Like to do it,
If you don't mind, let's do it that way.
makes me no difference.
She left you 15 minutes, so we can at least discuss whatever you need to, and then we'll do the closed session for the evaluations. At noon, Krista Hazemeyer, who had helped us with the interviewing process, she was going to come down so that we could discuss our interviews that we've already conducted for EMS, and that's noon to 12:30. And then at 12:30, we will be doing the appraiser's evaluation, and then Rhonda will be coming down to go over that with us. And that's all I have. Is there anything that we needed to add or amend? So, Michael, if you're ready, we can do that first, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Update on OS 87, our off-system bridge program south of Goldenrod. They're still waiting for final cure so they can pour the corral rail. And in the meantime, it's cured enough that they're able to start taking some of the forms and stuff off and do a little bit of backfill and grouting and whatnot there. So hopefully by the end of this week, they're going to pour the corral rail. So we have got started on driving sheet piling out here on a bridge west of town, OS 105. Hopefully we can get that completed here if the weather continues to cooperate with us. We are,
Who's doing that?
what's that?
The sheet piling?
Our bridge crew.
Are all of them working on that, or
Yes,
you have them split up? Okay.
for now, yes. We're started today to haul some gravel up on the Schneider Road. We're gonna start windrowing it and just close the road. We're just gonna take some time to stir the gravel around, get it dried down enough to lay it down. But we're gonna have to do something to be able to start moving some gravel. We've been moving a lot of sand out of our sand pit in the southwest part of the county. hauling it around mainly the western half of the county, but we're at a point there where we're gonna have to start piling some, and it's on the other side of a little draw that's moving water, so I don't know how well we'll be able to do that without filling ourselves up with water there, so. And getting somebody to operate the dozer, we're gonna have to do some switching around and whatnot, so. Here's some information that I've received on fuel pricing.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so this one is from Home Oil, and this one is from DNS.
Correct.
They never got back to you from Great Bend? So what is the comparison here?
You know, it's not exactly set up the same as far as the way they priced. The only thing that I can say that's identical is the margin on transport loads. I know DNS shows a margin of 15 cents on the outstations, and Home Oil shows that it'll be the current
How many
price
gallons?
of delivery.
How many gallons are in a transporter?
Usually it's about 7,500, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Okay. It's not always the same as approximate. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, yeah. Okay.
They usually try to do it based on weight unless we have a request or need to do a split load or something like that. But
Okay.
it's usually fairly close to that 7,500 to 8,000.
Okay, so this just says... So they're not offering, neither one is offering you...
For a contract, no.
Okay, well that's not what Great Bend said. They said they would definitely contract the diesel, so I think you need to contact them and follow up on that. Because neither one of these are saying anything. That's really the most ambiguous thing I've ever seen from DNS Oil. DNS Oil says tax plus 24 cents for clear diesel, tax plus 18 cents for unleaded, margin of 5 cents for a semi, and margin of 15 cents for an outstation delivery. Home Oil says dyed number 2 diesel, transport loads 2.26 a gallon. I suppose that's what that means.
225.9.
Well, okay. And then
Fuel, they always.
Yeah, they add that third after the decimal point. And then that's for a transport load, and then to the outlying stations would be 2.35. So 2.26 compared to 2.35 for dyed. And then clear is 2.50, including that tax, and unleaded 2.07.71. Transport
Yeah.
loads 4 cents per gallon over our rack price, plus any taxes and freight on the day of delivery. So basically, he's just giving you, and it says all prices are subject to change due to daily market changes. So they're just giving you a price quote for what they're at right currently. That's not a contract. We need to hear back about, if they're not willing to do contracts, that's fine. But I know Great Bend was, because I spoke to them. They came all the way to Vesper to do a setup when they had that, what was it called? The farm show. Did you go over to that?
Yeah, I did.
Great Bend was there, and I
Yeah.
talked to them, and they said they will contract for several months, like what you were asking for, because Home Oil says here that Michael O'Hare had requested a price quote from April 1st through September 30th. So that's not what they gave you.
And his option 1 is basically the contract price. DNS had a contract price, but they are no longer offering it.
Okay, but he says all prices are subject to change due to daily market changes down there at the bottom.
That's
so that's
probably
not a
on
contract.
Option 2.
Option 2 for the tank wagon delivery is what I'm assuming there, because the transport would be 4 cents over rack price. And I'm guessing that's what the difference would be there.
Well, then we can't really compare these two. So we'll need to hear from at least Great Bend.
What, do you have any recommendation or one you would like?
I didn't see a problem with the way we were doing it.
We currently use both of these.
At the moment,
Well,
we're using home oil.
Home oil mostly. Now, if you're on the east side of the county, like Westfall, would it be cheaper maybe to get it out of DNS since they're down there at 156, right? Or maybe it doesn't matter. Huh? I didn't know, because if you're transporting from Lucas to,
Yeah, I don't.
well, I didn't know. I thought maybe since the location may help some, but maybe not.
I think both of those individuals have routes that extend all over the whole
All
county,
over,
and
yeah, maybe it doesn't
you
matter.
know what
Okay.
they get when they go by, and
All right.
because we set up for delivery on the outlying shops every 2 weeks during the summer, and transports are on call.
You didn't, Alexis, you didn't get any specific details when you talked to that Great Bend.
No, they said they would
Right.
contact our highway department.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
We visited, and they just never have got back to me on prices.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, we need to see something that's comparable. I mean, these two aren't comparable at all. DNS isn't even saying that there is a contract price. They're just giving you their price now, unless this is the contract price, but they don't indicate that. And if it's the tax plus 24 cents on the gallon or 18 cents on the gallon, which we're not. See, they don't. I know that people aren't contracting unleaded, so this isn't a contract price because they're giving.
No,
you
we're
the
not.
price.
We can't contract unleaded.
Right. So this 24 cents on the clear diesel, that's. I mean, I don't see a comparison here on the other one. He has clear diesel, transport loads $2.50. And see that this is the other thing. You say that it's the contract option is option 1, but he has unleaded gas under option 1. So that's not a contract because nobody's doing that. So this is
It
just like
says
a price sheet.
unable to contract straight unleaded, but he's got the
E10.
ethanol.
E10.
They can contract
Oh, I see.
ethanol.
E10. Okay. So then, of the $2.50, what's the portion of the tax, and how do we compare the 24 cents on top of that from DNS to home oil?
Can
Well,
you,
the tax is the same on clear diesel. It's $24.40 for federal tax, and on gasoline, it's $18.40 federal tax.
Well, let's just compare the two clear diesels. Where are you getting the base number?
I don't see a base number
Yeah.
from DNS.
So you'll have to ask them that.
It'll be their transport,
It'll be
their day,
the day of
the
delivery.
rack price.
Yeah.
Because he's
They're
not
not contracting
offering a contract
Did
price.
he explicitly say we're not going to do? We don't ever do.
He told me that.
Okay, then you need to find someone who does so that you can have a comparison because we can't compare two entities that are doing two different things. We have to have the same bid. It's like asking for a bid. You have to have the same bid to compare two. You can't have someone bid on one building and someone bid on another and then choose between the two. But thank you for
Option
the
2
follow-up.
compares DNS.
Yes.
Right,
Option 2 is a comparison to DNS.
but that's not a
Home oil
contract.
is willing to do 4 cents. DNS is willing to do 5 cents on the semi-liquids. So those are a strict comparison.
That's still not a contract, which is what we asked for. So thank you for pointing that out.
That's all I have for today.
Anything else for Michael? And I guess we need to move on to our evaluations. And we have all of them here, I believe. 1, 2, how many should we have?
I don't remember off the top of my head, 'cause there were some of them that we had been done prior to.
Well, aren't they all in here?
I don't believe the ones that were done previously are in there included, no.
I'm assuming they're already in their files.
So I have 21.
Maybe 22. There's one more here.
22, okay. Take that. Put that in here. Okay. So I would entertain a motion if we'd like to do 22 of them. I'm sure we need a few minutes for each. That's gonna be. We have blocked off on the agenda until noon. So however you want to do that. To proceed with enough time to at least do the department with Michael while he's here. Do you have somewhere you need to be at a specific time?
No, I got 3 for this morning.
Okay. Have you completed your self-evaluation?
I have not.
Okay. Do we have another one, Dawn? Another self-evaluation?
That is Rhonda's, so if you go to another packet, there should be self-evaluation on the next ones.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Let's have you fill out this one. And that leaves this packet without one. And this is hers. And we have some extras. Okay. Get those up there. What do you think about time?
What do you think? I don't know. How many, got 23 of them? 22?
22.
It's gonna take, I don't know, 5 minutes?
We might as well have Michael do his self-evaluation while we go do his evaluation, for one thing, and then I suppose we'll need him in here when we do it.
Okay, so
Go
do you want to
through
do
them,
10
don't we?
minutes first? And do it that way?
I don't care, but Michael needs some place to do his by himself, and
Uh-huh.
we need to do that, so.
Well, I think we need an hour at least to do.
Yeah, I agree.
To do all of the 22 of them. Especially if there's anything that needs further discussion. So, let's do,
I would do an hour. If we need more, we can extend it.
okay, let's do an hour. Would one of you?
Now, does he need to be here for these?
Yes.
Okay, then.
Don't we need to do his first, though, so we
I'm
get
open
the
to
whole-
suggestions. If
The
you,
whole thing done when he comes back. We go
Okay.
through everybody's.
Why don't we
His
let
and
Michael go do yours first, and we can do something else?
Sure, I will
else
do-
then.
I'll
Really,
make a
we need to
motion.
do his.
Dawn, I move to recess into executive session for 10 minutes for for the purpose of discussing the department head evaluation, position of director of Public Works. Public Works Director, I forget how it's listed. Pursuant to KSA 7543-19-2B, number 1, to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel, to reconvene in the basement meeting room, and it will be just the Board of County Commissioners.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second for the executive session for the department head evaluation. Is there any further discussion? If not, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And none opposed.
So the week of the 22nd, does anybody have favorite days?
Toward the end of the week is best for me. I mean, whatever you guys need to do. It worked out last time, but
What day?
I just said toward the end of the week. The 22nd is a Monday,
That's fine with me.
so the rest of that week is through the 26th is a Friday.
Yeah, any day would be fine. Well, let me look.
I'm going to be doing,
Hang on a minute.
Payroll.
yeah,
Yeah, and I met her. How many?
which I don't have to stay in. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
I didn't participate this last time because I really didn't realize I was going to get asked, so,
April the that 20th week, I don't have nothing scheduled.
okay.
So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, fine with me, or Friday. That'd be good Friday though.
What day?
No, that's the fall.
That's the following week. That's the
What
following
day do
week.
you have to have payroll?
I have to have payroll to the bank by noon on Friday,
On
so.
Friday.
Why don't
So
we
let's
just
do
wait
Friday
till
afternoon.
29th? Why don't we do it the 29th? We'll be here anyway.
Okay.
Monday, we'll have to pay bills.
Okay.
We can pay
Like they
bills
would
and
come
do
in the
interviews.
afternoon.
Yeah,
Okay.
That'll
On
be
Monday the
fifth
29th.
Monday anyway. So
fifth Monday anyway. Yeah, that's
have
it.
April satisfied by then.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
So
that's
if they would come the
The
afternoon.
water will be up to
29th.
the top of the bridges probably.
Do you think it's going to rain somewhere out
Now, we need to, well, they're already behind, I'm sorry. We need to do Rhonda's. Are you okay then?
Yeah,
with-
I bet.
You're gonna just communicate with Dawn and we'll see you on the 29th then?
Yep, that'd
Okay.
be great. Just
Thank
shoot me
you.
a time.
Okay,
whatever
I will.
it
I'll
is.
have someone, I'll email you or Dawn can.
All right, sounds great.
Thanks for
Appreciate you
coming.
coming and
No
helping
problem.
us.
You're welcome.
Thanks for.
Oh, and we do need to find out about the credentialing with the medical director
Oh.
for the county.
Well, Brandon needs to bring the book and get it to the director so he can review them and sign them.
Okay,
That's what he needs to do.
okay.
Because Shannon had said that was supposed to, I guess I said, is that something that we just upload what we have? And he said, no, they're just reviewing every year.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they've been doing.
I said, if this is the latest, I have it with.
2014.
Yeah, 2014.
Okay.
You're welcome. And it looks like they need to get all the, well, at least all Lincoln County Hospital providers involved. So, and the director, or somebody, at least the interim. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Dawn, are you able to email Brandon or do we need to contact him? How do you want to handle that?
What would be good is if whoever could bring it to medical staff. That's the third Wednesday. Or third
17th.
Tuesday, would be the 16th.
16th.
They just bring it to medical staff, but they need to call the hospital and get on the
Agenda.
The medical
Hospital
staff.
board. Hospital board.
Is that,
Medical staff meeting is the morning, and it's at 8:15. Yeah,
okay.
but they need to get on the agenda, and they can call me, and I can try to get them on the agenda.
Would you forward that
way we'll have
message?
all the
Okay,
providers
thank you.
in one place.
Okay, so where we are, we have done half of the highway department evaluations. We completed the director of public works evaluation. We have now convened with the ambulance interview committee, and we need to complete our appraiser evaluation. So, where is that packet? I have one right here. Let's do, I don't think this will take very long. How, do you think we can do it in 10 minutes?
What?
The appraiser
Oh,
evaluation?
yeah, we can do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I move to recess into executive session for 10 minutes for the purpose of discussing the appraiser, supervisor, department head, performance evaluation pursuant to KSA 75-4319 2B, number 1, to discuss matters of personnel matters of non-elected personnel, to reconvene in the basement meeting room with acting HR and the Board of County Commissioners.
Second.
All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed.
The gravel deal. And we didn't get informed before we got,
I didn't
you
realize
know,
that.
and that's, you know.
I was just doing my job. I
Yeah,
didn't realize
yeah.
that was going to cause.
I wished
such a-
I wished you would have informed us that you were, what you
Doing
were
it.
going to do, you know, because it'd have made it a little easier, I think, for us. But I do appreciate you came down the other day and told us the valuation was up on the property. And I do appreciate, that's kind of good information to know as we approach a budget or something.
Yeah.
I do have one question. What do you do procedurally, or how is it handled if someone comes in and, let's just say I don't know anything about the process, and I just say, well, so-and-so says they have the same size tin shed, and it's half the price of what I pay for mine. What is the process then?
Okay, that's an appeal. People come in and appeal. They question what value. We have the PRC card. A lot of times we show them and show, this is,
So
what
if
we
I
have.
had my question,
But-
you would show me the card.
Right, and then a lot of times they'll say, oh, so-and-so said their value went down, or so-and-so said this and that. We'll pull them up, that person's up, and say, okay, no, this is what it is. This is what they have. We have that happen a lot, where people say, oh, well, so-and-so said their value went down. I'll pull it up, and I said, no.
To show the real numbers.
Yeah, because
So-
people don't always read things right, and so.
Right. It could be misinformation.
Yeah, and anybody can come in and get anybody else's information. The only thing we can't give out is sales information. So like the comps.
Yeah, you don't know what
those-
it's sold for, but you know what the appraised value
Right.
is. So, have you given any thought to putting since you have someone in the office that can do computer work, have you given any thought to using an online database for that kind of information that other counties do?
Ours is on Orca.
But, okay, so it's just public access through there. Okay.
Yeah, all the information of ours is on Orca
Okay.
and stuff. And most all counties use Orca anymore. Some of the other counties, bigger counties and stuff that started out with a parcel search before Orca was up. Theirs is just a little bit different, but they're still on Orca.
So this Orca is your database?
That's
you
through
do-
the
State.
Orca stands for Open Records Kansas.
Oh, okay.
And so all of the property information
Oh, yeah.
is on there.
Sounds
It's in
good.
a different format than what comes out
A
of our
big Kansas
computer.
database of all
Yeah.
that.
Now, there's some western Kansas counties that don't have it as a public deal. You have to pay for it. But Orca's a free deal. I don't know why these counties don't have it as a public deal.
Open records for Kansas appraisers. Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
been on there in a long time since
Yeah.
you mentioned that a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and so all the information that we have in the computer on property, except, like the sales information, is on there. It's just a different format of what our PRC cards are.
So was sales information ever public record that you know of? No. See, in Pennsylvania it is.
Years and years ago when deeds were filed, they had stamps on them.
So you kind
But-
of knew.
If you knew
look
what
at the
each
deed, you
stamps, but if you knew what each stamp stood for, or how many dollars each stamp stood for, you could basically, in a roundabout way, figure it out. I never did know. That was before my time, and I've seen some of the old ones, but I never knew what this stamp, how many dollars this stood for, and this stamp, how many dollars that stood for, and stuff. So, but no, it's never been public information.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you for your
Yeah,
time.
thanks.
Okay, so before we leave today, would you like to discuss the applicants for the HR position? Dawn had indicated that we all sent in our list, but none of them were there was no cross-reference there between them, so maybe we should discuss that
I'd say
briefly.
there was one between two of you and then a different one between two of you.
Okay.
Other than that, they weren't even really lined up.
Okay. So then, is that something we can do in executive session? I mean, I guess it's,
Discuss those.
I think probably so, as long as you're looking at their applications and stuff, otherwise.
yeah, they're not public documents that we receive their applications, so that's how we assess them. So I have the applications, let's pull those out. I know. Do you mind if we recess for 5 minutes and then come back to it?
Yeah, that's
That'd be
fine.
okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so how do you think we could do it in 15 minutes? To go over the
I hope so.
the HR.
I hope so. It's 1:30. I hope so.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, you didn't know I had plans to be here until 5 today?
If you are, for sure you remind me and I won't be here.
Okay. I will make the motion then, I guess. I move to recess into executive session for 15 minutes for the purpose of discussing applications for the HR position. Pursuant to KSA 75-43-19 2B number 3, which would be employer-employee negotiations with the acting HR, the Board of County Commissioners, and that's it. To reconvene in the basement meeting room.
Second.
And if there's no further discussion, those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed.
Monday,
Next Monday?
The 15th? The 15th? That would be fine. Does everyone agree with that?
To do what now? Have the interview?
We could see if we could pull in first round interviews.
Try 11. You
For
can try
HR.
Thursday and Monday.
Thursday and Monday? Okay.
This
See what's
Thursday?
available.
This Thursday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
That'd
wanted
be
to
the-
know for sure. I don't think I know nothing.
In the afternoon, please.
Okay. So Thursday and Monday, and I'll try to get them in as much
What's
as
that,
I
the
can.
11th?
The 11th and
Okay,
the
I already had it
15th.
scheduled. Huh.
Well, we had
planned it.
tentatively talked
Tentative.
about if we could get them
Okay.
called,
That's fine, yeah.
ranked and called.
That's fine. Well, so what time? 11?
Whatever she can get set up with
Oh,
them.
okay.
And
I
see, and
said
I was just
afternoon,
kind of
please.
going like the top
I'm
five.
available all day
Okay.
anyway. It's gonna be
Thursday-
snowing that day anyway, so we can't do nothing with farming out there, so.
Thursday and Monday. Got
Okay.
it. Okay, so
Think
How
it's got
about-
snow enough to cover up my wheat?
how about this?
Hope it
I
don't
will
freeze
have
too
Hannah
hard.
just set
Now,
up,
we
if you
can-
guys are
That's really
okay with
rude,
that.
isn't it?
She likes to do things like that. I'll
Yeah.
have her set up employee name and their ranking all the way across for each of the categories, and then I'll help her come up with the average of the points, and then we'll just scroll it down. And then we'll just put them in, do you want them in alphabetical order, department order, does it
By
matter?
Department.
Department.
By departments, okay.
Because number one, I don't know that we can make a 2 this, 3 this, because
Because
different department heads
yes,
have different stringent,
I agree.
and
I agree.
the county, the road department, I was surprised at how low they are, to be right honest. I mean,
Right,
There-
but
there
it's
was-
across the board.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just saying,
you
yeah.
know, I.
Well, when I was doing Hannah's, I struggled because, I'm like Michael, I didn't give her any 5s, but I probably stayed more in the 3 to 4. But to be honest with you,
Yeah, I'll edit that.
that's okay. No,
Okay.
so anyways, I'm just kind of the same way. So when I was doing Hannah's,
Okay. I think,
Department.
but like you said, if we have them categorized by department, it will show where the baseline is or where that median falls.
Yeah.
Because if some people are doing 4s and 5s and some people are doing 2s and 3s, we'll see that as a pattern.
Yeah.
But I think then if we go by department, we can assess that individually along that baseline, I
to
think.
see, yeah, because it's hard, and for me,
It is,
I answered questions as we went.
Subjective, it's very
Yeah.
subjective.
Well, and you have
So-
a personal relationship with these people. So a lot of times they're your
Yeah.
friends, and how to be objective on that. you
But
know.
I've been satisfied, and I think it's been a good experience for them because it gives you a chance to bring things to the table. I personally like reading the self-evaluations the most. Some people
I
don't
think
fill
those
them
are,
out.
those are probably the most accurate.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And some people don't fill them out at all, and some people fill out a lot of stuff that seems like you wonder why they think that way. But it's telling of where people are in their position, and I think that's helpful for everyone. It's good for the supervisor to see, and then it's good for us to see, so that we know what the department feedback is. You know, if you're getting a lot of similar answers from individuals, obviously it's a common theme. So it's very helpful. It's harder with one employee for sure.
Yeah.
It's-
Well, because I feel like I evaluate on a daily basis versus a bigger department that probably,
right. You only get certain
Yeah.
times you can check in.
because if there's something, then, we address it right away and.
Okay, so next week then, we have, next week is already the 15th, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. So we may have a special meeting, which you'll just notify the notify list, correct?
Yes.
If we end up doing interviews on Thursday, if not, you will try to schedule the remainder of them for Monday, whatever works best for them.
Speaking of that, I think I really messed up on that March. I don't think I notified anybody. Of course, we had it in minutes several times
Which March?
that we were moving the March 30th meeting to the March 29th. But if somebody says anything, I
Oh,
did
29th
not notify.
to the 28th, okay.
Or yeah, the 29th to 28th. I just didn't even think about that.
Okay.
So.
I'll come visit you.
Okay.
Well, it's like, oh, oops, after the fact.
Okay. So then we will adjourn until, for
Whenever
sure,
we
until
meet.
Monday, April 15th
See y'all.
at 10 a.m. Thank
Whenever
you.
we decide to-
Oh,